Hey, welcome back to another episode of CX Riot Radio, where we talk about customer experience and stuff, still in a hyper caffeinated state. I'm David, I'm your host, I'm the caffeinated CXO, and today we're going to be talking about something that's very, very near and dear to my heart. So, a backpacker is traveling through Ireland when it starts to rain. He decides to wait out the storm in a nearby pub. The only other person at the bar is an older man staring at his drink. After a few moments of silence, the man turns to the backpacker and says in a thick Irish accent, "You see this bar? I built this bar with my own bare hands. I cut down every tree and made the lumber myself. I toiled away through the wind and cold, but do they call me McGregor the bar builder? No." He continued, "Do you see that stone wall out there? I built that wall with my own bare hands. I found every stone and placed them just right through the rain and the mud. But do they call me McGregor the wall builder? No. You see that pier out there on the lake? I built that pier with my own bare hands, driving each piling deep into the ground so that it would last a lifetime. Do they call me McGregor the pier builder? No. But you fuck one goat." And that's what we're going to talk about today. Not goat fucking, but the concept. You ever notice how, if you're in the trades, you can do 1,000 things right and nobody remembers, but screw up one time on one seemingly insignificant thing? And suddenly the entire reputation of your company hangs in the balance? So that's the game we're actually playing in customer experience, right? Not the game on your KPI report, not the game in your morning meeting, not the game on your little fancy dashboards. No. The real game, the one the customer is keeping score on, is played in what we call moments of truth. And these moments aren't necessarily polite. They don't wait for you to be ready. They don't care if you're short-staffed. And they definitely don't care if you're having an off day. They happen whether you like it or not. And every one of them is an opportunity to win or lose renewals, repeat business, and referrals on the spot right then and there. So let's paint a picture here. A customer calls your company for the very first time. They got attracted by one of your amazing marketing pieces. Maybe they saw one of your vans on the street. Maybe they saw a cool billboard. It doesn't matter. They're calling you for the first time. They've never met your technicians. They don't know your dispatch team. They don't know the owner. All they know is the voice that answers the phone. That's CSR. Maybe they're 19 years old. Maybe it's their first job. Maybe it's their third day of training. That person is about to determine whether this customer will ever spend $1 with you at all. That's the reality. Because the customer doesn't see departments. They don't see org charts. They don't see, well, that's the call center's responsibility, or that's dispatch, or that's the tech's fault. No. They see one thing and one thing only: your company. And whoever they talk to in your company becomes the embodiment of the entire brand. That's why customer retention doesn't start at the end of the job. It doesn't start at the invoice. It doesn't start when the tech hands over recommendations. It starts with, "Thank you for calling." And that first moment, that's a moment of truth. Thank you, Shep Hyken. Now, moments of truth come in 3 flavors. You've seen all three. Number one is the moment of misery. This is when the customer has already been burned, maybe by us, maybe by another company, maybe by life in general, and now we just dumped gasoline on their frustration. Not very nice. But you know those moments. Being transferred 3 times, being put on hold and then forgotten, getting a call back 2 hours late, the technician running late with no heads up, or the infamous invoice screw up. Name spelled wrong, wrong address, missing discounts, wrong price, whatever. Those aren't tiny things. Not in reality. Those are relationship killers. After the moment of misery, there is also the moment of mediocrity. This is the most dangerous one of these moments because nobody notices it. It's like yeah, they did their job, I guess, interaction. The lukewarm cup of coffee, the shrug, the forgettable experience. No misery, no magic, just nothing. You don't lose the customer today, but you don't keep them either. You'll never be the company they automatically think of again. And then, my friends, there is the moment of magic. This is the gold. This is the unicorn. The rare moment when someone on your team steps up and takes ownership. The CSR who calms a panicked customer, listens deeply, and books with confidence. The dispatcher who gives proactive updates like clockwork. Hey, just wanted to let you know he's running 10 minutes behind, but I've got eyes on him, and you're next. The tech who throws shoe covers on with a smile, checks the whole system, explains the work clearly, and solves the customer's real problem, not just the one they think they have. That's magic. That's the moment of magic. And magic creates loyalty. But here's the thing, right? Because there's always a thing. Magic doesn't happen randomly. It happens when a company builds a culture where everyone feels responsible for creating it. Yeah. Let's talk about that. Because we've all seen companies try to preach customer first when their internal culture is basically employees last. That never works. That's hypocrisy dressed up as a mission statement. If leadership doesn't model the culture doesn't exist. You can't scream about quality while ignoring broken processes. You can't preach integrity while shrugging off sloppy work. You can't demand ownership if you punish people for making judgment calls. Empowerment isn't a poster. It's the permission to fix problems on the spot. When you give your team that power, well, something incredible happens, usually. CSRs take initiative. Dispatchers solve issues before customers notice them. Techs become advisors, not salespeople. And billing clears up confusion with confidence instead of hiding behind a policy. Everyone shifts from reactive to proactive. That's when customers feel the difference. Because remember, your business isn't judged as a whole. It's judged by a single interaction. A perfect technician doesn't matter if the CSR was rude. A flawless repair doesn't matter if the invoice is wrong. A great dispatch team doesn't matter if nobody communicated a delay. One employee can fuck up the experience, but also one employee can save it. And that's why team chemistry matters. You can't build a shop on all stars alone. You need the right people in the right roles. You need the right people on the right seat of the bus. The team needs to flow, it needs rhythm, and it needs trust. A bad dispatcher can sink the entire day. A sloppy CSR can fuck up an entire week. A distracted technician can blow up the entire month. This is why leadership in the trades looks more like a coaching a football team than running a corporate department. You've got to know how people complement each other. You've got to rotate the lineup. You've got to keep your eye on who's rising, who's burning out, and who's quietly killing your reputation one call at a time. And then there's the skill nobody teaches enough: understanding the customer's real issue. Most customers don't call with the root problem. They call with, with the pain they can identify. It takes listening to uncover the truth. Let's say a lady calls in and says, my AC isn't cooling. Maybe it's the capacitor. Maybe it's the coil. Maybe it's the thermostat. But maybe it's the fear of spending money she doesn't have. A guy calls in and says, my water heater is leaking. Maybe it's the tank. Maybe it's the valve. Maybe it's the pressure. But maybe it's the stress of having his kids home from school with no hot water. The real job is understanding human beings. And the best tool is documenting and following up. Because loyalty doesn't happen when you solve the problem. It happens when you check in after you solve the problem. Hey, did everything go well with the appointment? Hey, just checking that the system is running smoothly. Hey, let us know if you need anything. Those tiny follow-ups, those turn customers into fans. Fans will use you again. And if you want to think of fans, think of the people that... The easiest thing is like sports fans or music fans, right? Fans of a band, right? Like, I know a lot of people that are really, really into Slayer, right? Or the Misfits, right? Not only do they wear the t-shirts, but they have the fucking tattoos. I have a Misfits tattoo myself, right? And they automatically promote this band just by going out in public, right? Or for brands, there's people that wear Monster shirts for some reason. Or, you know, they have Apple everything. And when they go to their coffee shop to write their screenplay or whatever, I don't know, bro. They're advertising Mac. They're advertising Apple, right? Or people that advertise their favorite sports teams. These people pay to be the marketing team of whatever they're a fan of. And in a way, you need to make your customers fans of you so they promote you and become part of your marketing team and marketing strategy. So, if you want retention, real retention, the kind that fills your schedule, you have to master these moments of truth, okay? You have to treat every call, every email, every install, every invoice, every dispatch update, etc., 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 as the thing that defines your company. Because let's face it, to the customer, these things are your company. They don't give a shit what your code of values is. They don't give a shit what your mission statement is. They care about the interaction they had with the people in your company, period. And probably the price, right? So, if you want them to come back, if you want your customers to come back, then every interaction has to be building something worth returning to. You want customers for life? I know you do. Give them moments worth remembering. It's the peak end rule, right? We've covered that in previous episodes. Go back and listen to those. But the peak end rule still applies. And I know a couple years ago that was the big thing in CX content, right? The peak end rule and all this shit, right? But it still applies. Just because it's not in common, like, not being pumped out anymore doesn't make it any less valuable or real. So, you want loyalty? Give them consistency and make it easy to do business with you. You want referrals? Give them moments of magic. And this is the work. And it's not easy. It's not easy tuning everyone in to the same frequency and having a team that is without silos. The CSRs should be talking to the dispatchers. The dispatchers should be talking to the technicians. The technicians should be talking to literally everybody else. You can't keep them separated and expect things to just magically fucking work out. That is stupid. Don't be stupid. So, but at the end of the day, yes, you should put the customers first. But you should put the employees first. It's the only way that your customers will be treated as they should be treated. If you treat your employees like shit, or you treat them like numbers on a fucking spreadsheet, they're going to treat the customers the same way. They're going to treat the customers at worst like a fucking wallet, and at best as an inconvenience. So, there we go. Now, before I wrap up, I just want to remind you that on the link tree down below, I have books, I have merch, I have other things. Check out the blog. The blog's pretty cool. I've been working on it. So, but that's it. That's CX Riot Radio. I'll see you next time. Bye.